Long ago, before the birth of Sigmar, a great battle was fought between the ancient king Alcadizar and the lord of undeath Nagash. It was the combined efforts between the ancient king and the frantic works of the Skaven that slew Nagash and stopped him in his tracks, even for just a little while. Unfortunately for Alcadizar, the weapon he wielded, a blade of pure warpstone, drained him of his life as he carried both himself and Nagash's fabled crown of sorcery into the lands north of Nehekara. It was at the Blind River where the warpstone weapon finally took its toll and Alcadizar perished. He would have been left to rot and been forgotten by the sands of time were it not for his body's discovery at the hands of the Lodringan tribe, an ancient tribe of humans, and their ruler Kadon, a shaman of great respect. It was Kadon who deduced that the withered dead body was that of a great king, and while he was not of their people, he deserved a proper burial nonetheless. A large burrow was erected in his honor, and while far from home, Alcadizar's body would be allowed to rest. Unknown to many that he had saved the world as we know it, the ancient king would be buried with all his belongings he carried with him, all except the crown he carried. Such a thing was too precious to bury. It spoke to him, but not the typical speaking of greed, as much precious items may hold, but actually spoke to him. For inside the crown lay a fragment of Nagash, who while defeated was never truly gone. Nagash spoke to Kadon, filling his mind with dark thoughts, those of sorcery, immortality, and grand empires. The great shaman was under the influence of Nagash before he could even notice it. Kadon would follow Nagash's command as his mind slowly deteriorized. A great city would be built over Alcadizar's burrow, the birthplace of a new dark empire. Kadon and his servants would be taught the arts of necromancy. Nagash would be worshipped again as a god king, and Kadon his fabled prophet. This empire was known as Morkane, known to many as the home of the Strigoi bloodline, but that would not be until many years from now. The necromantic arts swept over Morkane as it did to Nehekara many times before. Kadon himself became known as one of the most powerful necromancers to have ever walked the world. Even more still when Nagash's severed hand was discovered and he had it fastened to the top of his staff to further increase his magical abilities. It was when Morkane was at its peak that necromancy spread throughout the world, finding itself small pockets of followers wherever the living roamed. Kadon would stand watch as his power grew and his empire mirrored that of the visions Nagash had gifted him. But unfortunately for him, Kadon was not all-powerful, nor immortal. He would age as many men have before him, and the use of dark magics only further withered his body. It was here where the events of Kadon's death are really not so clear. Some believe Kadon fell to a greenskin invasion, with orcs and goblins being so ever increasingly common within the Badlands. Others believe it was the crown itself and the spirit of the late Alcadizar who ended his life, the spirit of the Great King being angry at Kadon for worshipping Nagash as a god. The more widely accepted theory is that Usharan, the king of the Strigoi, was the one to end the shaman, as with time he grew to rule the city of Morkane and the empire of Strigos. But regardless of which event is the correct one, it should be known that it was Kadon's weak mind which paved the way for the eventual return of Nagash once again. But with that, my friends, we've come to the end of our lore video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, might I suggest giving the video a like, or even subscribing to the channel, as it really does help us out. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you all again very, very soon. Have a good day.